So we started out reviewing this book called Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And the last episode we talked about physical touch as a love language. Today we are going to be talking about words of affirmation as a love language. Now, some people's love language is words of affirmation. You might not notice your wife's love language might be words of affirmation. Your husband's love language might be words of affirmation. What can get your husband running? What can get your husband loving you might just be missing, which is just words of affirmation. Words of affirmation has to do with using verbal expressions of love, appreciation, and encouragement. Sometimes you use kind words, you use supportive words. It means the world to some people. You might have tried to get him to love you. Maybe you have not tried words of affirmation. Maybe you have not tried words of affirmation to make her love you. I give you a practical illustration. Jane and Mark had been married for 5 years, but their marriage doesn't seem to work because there's always conflict, and the man usually feels down and depressed most of the time, even though it was working. And Jane attended a marriage seminar sometime, and she heard for the first time about words of affirmation. And when she came home, she started giving her husband words of affirmation like, look, you are a great dad, you are a great husband, you are very intelligent, you are good at what you do. Before you know it, Mark's spirit was lifted up and he started doing many acts of service for the wife because his spirit is lifted up. The love language of your husband or your wife might just be words of affirmation. You might just be words of affirmation away from getting your marriage to work again. In Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29, the Bible says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs. Ephesians 4:29. Can you start exploring kind words, supportive words to edify your partner? Can you start exploring words of affirmation? Tell him he is intelligent. Tell her that she's hardworking. When she cooks for you on the table, compliment her. Her spirit will be lifted up. You see, and you begin to see the side of her that you have never seen before. Many of us are so used to, after all, it's his job. After all, it's her job. No. Even though it's her job, even though it is his job, compliment her, compliment him, and then you'll see more of those good things that he has been doing, that she has been doing. Your marriage will work. Use words of affirmation and get the best out of your husband, out of your wife.